It feels almost weird to be here again in front of a camera. I feel like I'm being so dramatic and telling the whole world about something about me, but I'm not. But in a way I am, because it's like, okay, now I'm ready to get into this video because I'm like, my camera started blinking at me and it felt really aggressive, so I'm like, if I get into this video and it's telling me it's gonna die, it's not gonna be an efficient video, and I'd rather stop now before I really got into any thought, feeling, or emotion before, or like any wave of thinking before it died. So I'm just gonna charge it now, chill out, like take some notes, like what do I want this video to be about? So I figured it out. Probably should have thought about it before, but we're here and you're getting the message, so it's fine. So the video is called I don't even know what the video is called. I haven't titled it yet. I'm clearly didn't even think of the video until now. I was just gonna like wing it, but can't really do that with this kind of stuff. So here I go. I guess I should say how I got to the point where I accepted my gifts, and also how I knew I had gifts, because as I was getting to, I realized my purpose, or what I enjoy doing, my passion, is teaching others of their gifts and igniting that passion in somebody and letting them know that they can create their own life, and they also can trust in their senses and their intuition and know that it's right. Like if you have a gut feeling about something, it's right. So I am a psychic medium. I feel really weird almost talking about myself. I'm just gonna do it, forget it, because this is kind of traumatic for me. My signs are yellow butterflies, but the big yellow butterflies that have the black outline on them, they're just so beautiful to me. And they also are a sign for me from my dad, who's passed away, which is a whole nother crazy story, but we'll get into that. And also my spirit guides too, and Uriel and all of them. Outside, when I was walking down the hall, I was kind of like floating through. I'm like, should I even do this? Like, I've tried it so many times. It's failed, but it didn't even fail. I chose to stop. You know, nothing really failed. I chose to knock it off. Like, stop it. Right when I saw the butterflies, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I'll do it. I'll do it. And then I went and saw the secret checks I've been writing myself, which are these things I wanted to show you. Pretty much you just write yourself a check for however much money you want and set a date. I took this Angel Numbers book. You can buy it on Amazon. Pretty much it has every single number, 0 to 999, and it has a message for each number. So if you always see the number 55, or you always see the number 43, or you always see the number 222 or 444 or 1111 or something like that, you can look in here and see what the meaning is. Anyway, I opened it. I went like that. Obviously I can't redo it, but I landed on 229. It says, know that your divine life purpose is unique and much needed. Trust that you're fulfilling this purpose right this very minute. No one can do this but you. So here I am. You guys all want to know how I'm a psychic medium. Ever since I was little, I was always connected to angels. I remember being really little and always seeing them and not knowing they weren't real. I thought they were people. I thought they were humans, and I would tell my mom about them. And I actually saw my Grandma Jo, who passed away, my mom's mom, right before I was born. Well, not right before. She passed away a little over a year before I was born, a year and a half before I was born. But I used to talk to her and play with her and give my mom messages when I was little. Like, I would have my binky in my mouth, my mom would say, and she would ask me who I was talking to, and I would say, Grandma, and she'd be like, what? Because she never told me who she was. And then she brought out a photo album and was like, flip through, where's Grandma? Like, she wanted me to point out. I went through and I picked her. I picked my grandma and said her, Grandma Jo, and I said her name, and my mom was tripping out, obviously. Because, like, what? That's kind of scary. Like, your child's just like, I know her. You know what I mean? Like, it's not normal. I was always really connected to Archangel Haniel. I always saw her. She was the one that I saw, but I didn't know her name, and I also didn't know that she was an archangel. I thought she was a real person, because you're little, you don't know what you're doing, what you're thinking, like who's around. You just know what's there and that's it. I loved Long Island Medium when I was little. I watched that shit like no other. I still watch it on Hulu. It's on Hulu, by the way, if anybody loved that show. It's on Hulu. I'm like, I relate to her. I understand. I hear voices all the time. I didn't really hone in on my gifts. Again, I shut them off because I was haunted by a crazy spirit when I was 14. I'll have to tell the story about that and like how I learned, but I shut my gifts off after that because it was so traumatizing and so bizarre. She like literally took over my body, and I said everything. I knew her whole life. I knew everything about her. I knew how many kids she had. I knew everything without knowing who she was. I knew when she died. I knew how she died. I knew all this stuff, and I remember coming out of it shaking. It used to scare me, and that's why I turned it off, and that's why I rejected it. But the thing is like when you have these gifts, when you have these intuitive abilities, and the thing is, most people see ghosts. Everybody has a sense of intuition, a sense of psychic to themselves. Everybody's connected. It's just whether you choose to fully connect or just stay disconnected, or how you are. I chose to disconnect, but that didn't stop me from being haunted by so many other ghosts too, because what happened was I just shut off my connection with the things that were protecting me and supporting me and keeping me safe, which were my angels and the universe itself, and like working together. And so when I shut it off, I went through a lot of extremely hard things. It was like from 14 until 2 years ago, December of 2016, where I even remembered that I had these gifts, where I even remembered that like ghosts weren't just randomly choosing me, like I just was connected to them in that way. I was in between dimensions, because I feel as a psychic, at least for me in my experience, like I'm in between realms almost. So I can connect with the other side, and I can see them, and I know what they looked like, and I can talk to them and hear them and how they used to speak. But I also am here and able to talk to everybody and seeing them how they are. And now that I'm older and more wise, I'm able to differentiate what like a passed on spirit is and obviously what a human is. Like I'm not just sitting there tripping, talking to nothing at Target. Like I know if someone's real or not. And also that's why if you were to see me in public, I don't really look around. Like I keep to myself, not because I don't want to tap into any other energies, because I've learned how to shield myself, which I will also teach you about in another video. I just realized that what I was doing meant too much to ignore. And I realized that I could help more people than I even think I can. I'm choosing to go to the place where I experienced the most bullying of my entire life, which was YouTube. Not on YouTube. I didn't experience, actually yeah, I experienced some shit on YouTube, but to be in total gratitude and total appreciation of the moment you're in is the best thing ever. And if that's the only message that I can get across in this video, then that's what I want to do. I want to make a difference in this world, and I'm not ever going to stop. I don't know, when I was little, I really loved doing it. I loved making music videos, because that's what everybody was doing at the time, and I made music videos, and I wasn't allowed to show my real hair, so I wore a wig, and I got bullied for that, but I just wanted to express myself. And that's the only thing, is like, if you're in my shoes too, if you've been in a place where you want to do something but you've already tried and been shut down for it, or bullied or ridiculed, or felt so alone, you're not ever alone. And if you are, you're not gonna be for long. The universe wants to provide the people who are good and who are doing what they're meant to do. When you do what you're supposed to do and you don't let outside sources affect you or influence you, do what you want to do and what you're passionate about, life will just work for you. Because it's almost like you're choosing, it's not almost like, you are choosing yourself, and you're rising above what other people are saying, which honestly is like next level. I really did fall off for quite a while though, especially in high school. I mean, I think everybody goes through an intense learning phase, especially those who have been through some intense childhood experiences, but I pretty much reached a point of not really caring what went on in life. I just was living to live. So back and forth with that, to the point where I would not care what was going on or what people thought of me. The next day I would care way too much and put too much pressure on myself, and it was like, for the first time in my life, I'm doing things for me. My intention is to never make you feel forced to change or do what I'm telling you to do. It's more of just what I've learned, what's worked for me and helped me, and I'm hoping that it can help somebody else out too. Because I know what it's like to be in a position where you feel like the whole world's against you and people are so mean on social media and attacking you on Twitter. I mean, not just that, other things too, but I've also experienced so much love from my friends and so much support, and you know, it gets to you have to decide what's more important and what's worth looking at. Is it worth thinking back on your life and being like, woe is me, I was so bullied in high school, I was so this, I was so that, like this happened to me, da, 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 da. I'm not talking about extreme cases. I'm talking about like very minuscule, like stupid petty bullshit on Twitter or stupid petty bullshit on Instagram or Finsta or whatever. Like, that doesn't matter. I can tell you right now, I cannot even remember half the times, like, what the reason, like, Twitter feuds went on. But I also did some pretty fucked up shit, too, on top of, like, everybody makes stupid choices when they're in high school. Everybody makes decisions that they wish that they didn't. And I think that for any of us to put judgment on another is so ridiculous, to the point where I just don't do it. I'm like, it's so silly to be like, oh, you're doing this wrong and that's why you're doing it wrong and that's why your life isn't working out for you. Like, you don't have to do that. You should never treat another human like that. We're all learning at different paces, different times, different measures, in different ways. And also, everybody's purpose is so different. Like, this life, I chose to be a psychic medium, to rise the consciousness of younger women and men, and whoever you are, doesn't matter. I want to rise. Life can work for you, and it can be so much fun. You have to just know that it can. And the fact that you're even here watching this video and listening to me talk and say these things says a lot about you and your attraction, because in some way, shape, or form, you attracted this. Whether you're conscious or not, you are attracting everything that you experience in your reality to an extent. What your thoughts reflect. Like, if you wake up and you're pissed because there's traffic outside of your house and you thought it was going to be clear and now you're going to be late, it's like, so like picture the time in your head. So let's say, for example, when I was going to get my lashes done, I live 30 minutes away, give or take. But it takes 15 minutes to get onto the freeway from my house. So that's where it kind of like takes the longest, if that makes sense. Like, once I'm on the freeway, I'm good. But if there's traffic going from here to the freeway, it's going to take way longer than I anticipated. And when I turned out, I forgot that in the mornings there is traffic the entire 15 minutes, like the whole 3-4 miles from the freeway. It's 8:34. I was supposed to leave at 8:30. Actually, I was supposed to leave at like 8:29. I like to leave 1 minute before. I don't know. I don't really like to leave at certain times. I like to leave like a minute before, a minute after. I don't know. It's just something I do. But I looked at the time. I visioned 8:59, and I visualized pulling up to the lash place at 8:59, parking, getting out, being in, bada bing, bada boom. There was no traffic. There was just a little pileup at the stop sign right in front of my house because you can't see because it's like a turn, but like right when you pass that turn, there was no traffic. I don't know why I'm using the road as an example today, but I'm going with it. I feel like my purpose, what I'm going to get across in my YouTube videos for this channel to come, is empowerment, teaching you also the tools you need to have the life you want. Also using story times and like telling you guys stories of things that I've been through and the lessons I learned from them in full form. I'll admit when I fucked up and I was stupid. I'll admit when I was completely not even in the wrong, and okay, like, I want to tell stories of when I fucked up, not just when people fucked me over, if that makes sense, or even view it. I don't view it as people fucking me over. I view it as people teaching me things I needed to learn in order to be where I am today. Because it's so weird sitting here. The last time I ever filmed a video was for my last channel, reacting to my old YouTube videos, sitting right here. And it's weird to be here. That was last October, a year later almost, in a completely different space. And that just goes to show where you can go in a year, in 2 weeks. I just started doing all this. My mom just introduced the magic from The Secret to me, and that is all about including gratitude. So I challenge you today challenge time. I challenge you to write a list of 5 things you're grateful for every day. If you're pissed at your boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever, your partner, and you're so mad because they're just not listening to you or they're not understanding you, it's not that they're understanding you, it's that both of you need to take a step back and breathe and talk to each other like you guys are normal humans. And the way you get there is remembering why you're grateful for them and why you love them so much and why you're so happy they're in your life and how much you wanted them before they came, or even your mom or dad or whoever. There's always room for change. People always can change, and I want you guys all to know that I am not who I was even 6 months ago, and that's okay. People go through changes and it's necessary. We're not all meant to be in the same place forever. Like, you also have to remember that we came into this life with only our parents' beliefs or others who influenced us, who were in our lives as children that we didn't choose. When you find a belief that you know is true and that you feel in your heart and your soul and your gut and your intuition that it is the way of truth and that's the way you want to live your life, perfect. If you change your mind, if you want to live a different way in a few years, perfect. As long as you continue to do whatever makes you feel good, as long as you're not hurting other people. You need to also uplift and love and whoever's around you, because the way you're going to get places is when you stand your ground, you are appreciative of what you have and where you are, and also you're ready to move to the next step. A big message I just got for you guys is it's not about how you're going to get somewhere, it's about where you're going. So as long as you have a visualization of where you want to be and the things you want to experience or the certain outcome, like if you want a new car, visualize yourself getting a new car. Visualize yourself smelling that new car every time you get into yours. Pretend that it's yours. Pretend that it's the car. Not even pretend, believe and know that you will get that car because you thought of it. The fact that you even thought of this desire just goes to show that at some point in life it will come into reality in the positive. And you also can choose. If you don't want that car, if you found a better car and it's better for you, perfect, choose that one. Like, you're not limited to choose anything. You're not forced to make a decision you don't want to make. Always honor yourself and always know that you will receive it. You just have to trust. And you can call on all the archangels. I'm going to post more videos. I'm also doing an angel course with my mom at the Power of a Woman, our sacred society, teaching teens and children about the archangels and the chakras and crystals and how to balance and flow, gain abundance and power and all this stuff. But I'm also going to teach you guys that. If you guys are called to do any of this stuff, if you guys want to learn more, hear about some crazy stuff that I've been through, I wanted to thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for coming here, because in some way, shape, or form you're helping me reiterate to myself that this is what I'm supposed to do. With every view, it's like I'm reaching the people I wanted to, giving them a positive message for their day, which is what I love doing. And so thank you for allowing me to reach people, which is what I want to do. So I hope you guys all have a blessed day, and